Good afternoon. Awesome, I like that. My name is Beatrice, as you guys said. I want to take you guys in a journey, and I want you to take this journey with me. You're sitting right now at TEDx, but I want you to take this journey all the way to Africa, in East Africa. And through this journey, I want you to think about two things that are going to be your role. And these two things are, one, the power of education, and the second one, you can do something. How about that? Can you do that? If you can, nod your head. You can? Okay, so we are taking a journey. I am a native Kenyan, grew up in a small village in my country, in Kisumu, Kenya, called Kano. And in this village, I remember like it was yesterday, I grew up in a small mud house, probably the size of this partition, not even the whole stage. And in that house, it was me, my sister, and my brother, and my parents. And we had no running water. It was a mud house. And I can remember that many times when I was growing up, I always prayed for it not to rain. You know why? Because when it rains, sometimes it's so flooding and it will wash away your house. In our household, I could count the number of days I eat food. Not because we had food and my parents didn't want to feed us. It's because both my parents had full-time jobs earning less than $1 a day. Less than $1 a day cannot really feed 3 siblings. Nevertheless, cannot even be able to afford to pay for their education. Because in Africa, as majority of you guys know, Africa, education is very expensive. Education is not free in Africa. From kindergarten to college, you have to pay for tuition. And if your parents are not able, then you are forgotten. Nevertheless, if they are not even able, if you're a girl, then you are worse off, because girls were ever given second chances in education. I can remember at the age of 9 years old, I had never taken a simple day in class. From 9 years old and 2 years of college, I believe, somebody, a missionary from Sweden, gave me a scholarship for education. But to back up a little bit, at the age of 9, I always desired to be in class. In Africa, you have to have school uniform, you have to have school tuition, and also just the supplies to have you be seated in that class, a simple thing like a pencil, you have to receive education in Africa. We don't have government grants that will give schools majority of the school supplies they ever needed. We didn't have that. And so from my early childhood until the age of 9 years old, I had never been in class. I never received education. Can one person shout for me, what grade were you when you were 9 years old? Anybody? Any volunteer? Help me out. What grade? 4th grade, right? Beatrice was fetching firewood, helping my parents with house chores. I could walk almost 2 hours away to fetch water to bring in the household. Education was a dream to me. It was a dream, and I always desired to be in class. I always desired to have a school uniform and walk with my friends to school, the ones who were able to do that. One significant thing that happened to me that transformed my life and made me who I am today was just because of one great incident that happened in my life. There was a missionary from Sweden. These college students, just like many college students that are sitting here today, came to my country for a mission trip. How many people have ever taken a mission trip? Maybe through your school, through your organization, through your job, or through your church. You've gone for a mission trip to make a difference, and you are going to a foreign country. You want to get your passport, you're getting ready for this trip. Maybe you have a specific event you're going to do during this trip. This group of students from Sweden, they came all the way from Sweden to my country in Kisumu, Kenya, to host a VBS. And the VBS was very simple. It was going to be for local kids who either their churches are either under a tree, because there's no church buildings, or just the local kids who never have opportunity for anything. I was among the kids that were going to be in that VBS. And these college students, they came to my village. They were building tents for classes and doing everything they could have ever possibly done to make this project they came to do a successful project. But one thing happened to one of their team leaders. I can remember Mike dropped his wallet on the grass. And on this wallet, you know, they were building and the wallet was sitting there on the grass, and I was playing with other kids and I picked the wallet. Passport wallet, you know, there's passport in there, he's a missionary, there's money and everything else. And so with this passport that I'm holding, I start to look at it and I'm playing with it because I didn't know what it was. I'm an illiterate kid, I don't know anything. So I'm playing with this wallet, playing with the passport inside of it, and playing with the money. I didn't even know that was money because it did not look like Kenya shillings. And so I'm playing with the US dollars, and I looked through the passport and I see a photo on the passport book. And I look at all these missionaries here building, these young students excited. I look around and they all looked alike. I have this passport with lots of money in my hands, and looking, they all look alike. I don't know who to give this passport to, and I don't know who to give this wallet to. I don't even know I'm carrying money in my hands. I don't know I'm carrying a really, really important document of someone's, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And my dad was one of the volunteers into the event. He is the only man I trusted in this group. I looked around and I seen my dad, and I ran and gave him the wallet. And as he was building, because he was on a ladder, he put the wallet, because it was those travel passport holders, he put it around his neck, and he was holding it, and he continued to build. He forgot to give it to Michael. And when they finished building and doing the orientation, the group went back to their guest house where they were living. Are you guys still with me? Are you still having your two roles? The power of education, and you can do something about it. So these students went back to their guest house where they were staying, and when they got there, Michael realizes that his wallet is missing with money on it that he's supposed to use in this foreign country, and also some of the money they're supposed to use to buy the supplies to make the event happen. So they're sad, they don't know what to come back the next day to tell all these little African kids that they're not gonna do the event. When my dad got to the house, realized that he still had the wallet around his neck. He kept it very safely. And the next day, when we came back to the place where we were having the VBS, he gives back the wallet to Michael. This little incident went viral. In Sweden, I became the celebrity little village girl who picks this wallet and gives it back to the owner. The grandmother of Michael wanted to come and meet me. This lady, Anna Lanson, flew all the way from Sweden 3 months later after she heard the story of what happened to come meet me. And we heard about her visit, and I was very excited. I was not excited because she was coming from Sweden to meet me. I was excited because that day we were going to eat good food. I was excited because as a child, I was so happy I'm going to drink a soda. And that is real life. In Africa, kids maybe just drink a soda on Christmas Day. You know, it's something that don't come easy for us. So those were my excitement as a kid. You know, yay, you know, I'm gonna get to drink a soda. My parents have to go all their way out to provide for the guests. And that's one blessing that we have as our nature as Africans. The little you have, you want to go your extra mile to share. And so the visitors came, and Anna Lanson flew with her sister to my village to meet me, and all her journey was to come and say thank you to what I did. Later on, when I grew up, I realized that there was almost $8,000 in the wallet, the money I was playing with, that I gave to my dad. I didn't know at the time that that was money, and I didn't even know the value of it. My question is, did my dad know? I believe he did, because he was a very educated man, even though he was educated, but there was still lack of job opportunity. Even though he was educated, he was still earning less than $1 a day. So he knew the value of that, and he kept it safe for the owner. When we were eating chicken. Great thing, so excited. And we were eating, and Anna Lanson looks across the table. Actually, it was so small. Me and my siblings, we were sitting on the floor, and my parents, and the guests were sitting on the little table we had. And Anna Lanson looks across and asks my parents, "What can I do to help?" She asked, "What can I do to help you?" My dad did not say, "I'm a small African man with family, help me build a house so I can provide a good space for my children and my wife." He did not say that. My dad said one thing: "If you want to help me take this little girl to school. Help me take this little girl to school. She has a desire to go to school, and I cannot afford to take her and pay tuition for her education." And this lady, Anna Lanson, looked across the table and looked at me and said, "As long as I am alive, I'll make sure that she goes to the best school she ever wanted." And from the age of 9 years old and 2 years old, when that lady was leaving, she provided for my tuition. I can remember when I first went to school, before she passed away, I never lacked anything in class. It really made me think, what did I do, or what did this lady do to give up, to provide for me for education? I received my education because one single act, somebody chose to do something. Somebody chose to make a difference. Somebody chose to bring hope to a hopeless child who wants to do something with her life and get education. Somebody chose to make a difference. And that's why when I was telling you guys earlier, I want to take you guys through this journey. And this journey, I want you guys to remember two things: the power of education and what you can do, or you can do something to make a difference. When I received my education, I got a chance to come to the United States for internship. And further, I got myself in school and finished my studies, which I'm still pursuing. But some of the classes that I never took in Africa, I got to finish in the early few years when I came to the United States. But I'm showing you guys this picture, and I'm drawing this picture of a journey to put in your heart one thing. Have you ever had a passion to do something, and you don't even know how to start it? My challenge is just do it. Just get it started. Because through the commitment of one woman into my life, I want to show you today what I am doing in my village where I came back from. I want to show you today how you can do something just behind your backyard where you are here in Oklahoma City. I don't know if all of you in this room are from Oklahoma City, but wherever you are from, you can do something. You can make a difference. You can give life back. You can change somebody's life. You can change your children's life. You can change your brother's lives. Or you can change the lives of the people in your community. I'm doing that now, living passionately and doing Maisha because one person gave me a chance for education and I wanted to pay forward. So this small video is going to show you a little bit of the work I do back in my village where I grew up in. And then after that, we will see how you can get plugged in into your passion that you have about yourself. How about that? All right.
The village of Kano is outside Kisumu, Kenya. In the 1980s, a little girl from the village, Beatrice, was given a gift. The gift of education. 2 decades later, Beatrice started Maisha International Orphanage in her home village, sharing her gift with hundreds of her fellow Kenyans.
Since you want to know more about Maisha, I can tell you, because Maisha means life, and there is life in here. Little kids here have a lot of life and hopes. You can see in them. Life is very fantastic. I like it.
Maisha has grown to be the largest program in the area, bringing hope and healing to the poorest of the poor in rural western Kenya with numerous initiatives. All of these programs are the result of one woman, Beatrice, returning to her home village and giving the gift of life, education, and hope. Because of what Beatrice started, Maisha is paying school fees for 166 students, feeding 450 children daily, ministering to 118 women with HIV/AIDS, and providing dozens of orphans and vulnerable children with housing, love, and care. Maisha is based in Oklahoma City and since 2008 has hosted a number of mission trips to Kenya. These teams have consisted of students, adults, and even children from all over the U.S. and other countries. Through these trips, deep relationships have been built between Kenyans and volunteers, showing both that we truly are a global community called to serve each other. As more and more people from different backgrounds meet face-to-face at Maisha, transformation will happen in the hearts, minds, and communities of the volunteers and those being served. All of this transformation because one woman decided to stand up and do something in her community, inspiring all who meet her to do the same.
So, you can do something. Choose to make a difference. Choose to make an impact in your surrounding. It has to start from where you are. Charity begins at home. Thank you.